Hello everyone and welcome to Unit 6. I did like a test video just a second ago and it came up that my computer was like good with it, so fingers crossed that this works out. I do apologize for not having a video for Unit 5, but the computer was just not having it. I don't know what it is, but it happens at least once a semester. So anyways, we'll carry on. So for Unit 6, this is really exciting because you are almost done with the semester. You also don't have a unit assignment this unit because you're all done with them. So hopefully everything is kind of smooth sailing from here on out. I intentionally did this so that you have more time to work on your advocacy paper. So for Unit 6, what we are going to be talking about is counseling in schools and universities. So these are your school counselors as well as your student services and college advising professionals. So basically like a counselor, whether it be in the school or, for K through 12 or being a counselor at the college level. So what you're going to do, you're going to read chapters 12 and 13 in Halkowski. You are going to watch a TED Talk, which I do want to give a trigger warning for because the topic discussed is primarily suicide. And then complete the journal reflection in the discussion board number 4. So let me go ahead and get open my page that I need to give you the journal prompt. But while I'm doing that, let's talk a little bit about this YouTube video that you're going to watch, or this TED Talk that you're going to watch. So Kevin Briggs was a security guard on the Golden Gate Bridge. And one of his, duties was to essentially talk people down from jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge, which is something that he talks about in this, as well as some well-known statistics, is the Golden Gate Bridge is the bridge that, it's the bridge, it's the first or top bridge that people jump off of to commit suicide every year. So again, a really difficult topic, and I find that it does resonate with a lot of people every semester, whether they themselves have struggled with lethality or if they know or have been related to someone that has either contemplated suicide or completed suicide. It can be really difficult. So I do want to just give that heads up right now. But all in all, it is a fantastic TED Talk. Very, very insightful. So, all right. So for journal number 4, this is something that I definitely want to make sure that everyone completes. So this is really important, especially in the day-to-day of a helping professional, especially if you're doing counseling. So in the counseling professions, when we are assessing for risk of suicide or other lethality, such as self-injurious behaviors, we take a look at what are called risk factors. So the journal prompt is, what do you think is meant by risk factors? And what are some examples of what these might be for individuals? So you are not going to find this information in the unit material. You're going to have to use Google. You're going to have to, use some additional search engines and take a look around. So me as a therapist, I assess for suicidal ideations, suicidal actions, and then self-injurious behaviors every single session. Or suicide actions or suicide attempts. So self-injurious behaviors can look like a lot of things. This could be, what we would mostly know to be most commonly as cutting, but it also can look like burning. People might take cigarettes or other things and like burn themselves. Some people will scratch. Sometimes there's some skin picking. But it's all about like trying to find ways to control emotions and pain, or, just feel like someone has control of, pretty much giving them, like making things painful for themselves, because then they know that they're in control. They don't let other people give them or inflict pain on them, but they can inflict pain on themselves. So I hope that kind of helps conceptualize that. So please keep that in mind. But what you are taking a look at are risk factors. So I'm not going to give the answer of what exactly risk factors are, but definitely do some research and then, let me know what you come across. So the discussion board that you're going to come across, though, is a reflection of the actual TED Talk. So you're going to reflect on, like, what was his message? What kind of feelings did it elicit for you? And why do you think it's helpful to really be exposed to this? Or why is this important in the helping professions? So there is a quote that he does state that I want you to also reflect on, and that's also in the prompt. So please keep that in mind. What I want to bring awareness to, other than the actual course material, are due dates. So you have 2 weeks from today to get the discussion board as well as the journal entry in, and everyone's still doing pretty good and holding strong with responding to 2 of your classmates in the discussion boards, but there are a handful of people who are failing to remember to also respond to classmates. So please make sure you're doing that. This is your reminder. But you have 2 weeks to get this journal entry and this discussion board done. For the conclusion unit, which is when your advocacy paper is due, you only have 4 days. This is not a full unit because all you're doing is the last journal entry and submitting your paper. So this will be from May 8th to May 12th. So please do not save your advocacy paper for these few days. You are really going to want to spend some time doing this, because the unfortunate part about having a paper due at the end of the semester that's weighed so heavily is that if you bomb this paper, you're going to bomb your grade. And I don't want that for anyone. So just as a reminder, and I've been saying these things pretty much every unit throughout the semester, your advocacy paper has specific parts that you should be addressing, and those are in the papers and projects section in UB Learns. So there is a handout there of everything I want you to address. The page number limit does not include the cover page or your references page. That includes pages of content. There's also a sample paper in there of what I'm looking for. So again, the first part where you're, basically doing your literature review and then implications for counselors, this needs to be objective. You are showing what you find in the research. The implications for counselors can be a little bit subjective, where it's, I found this in the research and this is why I think that it's important, for counselors in the helping profession. But your literature review should be all research-based. You are presenting the information that you found from research articles, not websites. Please keep that in mind. And really proving your point of why this is a vulnerable population that needs advocating for. So it should not be written in first person. You should not be giving your opinions in the literature review. You are showing what research demonstrates and why this is a vulnerable population that needs advocating for. Please remember that. Then you have your implications for counselors, and then you have your advocacy plan. In previous semesters, this is what I'm noticing. 1, some students make the advocacy plan the shortest section of their paper, which that's a no-no because it's called the advocacy paper. So you want to make sure you're really putting a lot of thought into this. The next thing, people put research here. Advocacy plan is not, this part of the paper is not for research. This is for subjective information. The next thing is, students who don't watch the videos, I find, often will say, this is what should happen to advocate for this population, or this is what organizations have already done. That's not what you want either. The advocacy plan is you, hypothetically, being in the position of a helping professional and having unlimited resources. And what you need to do is write about what you would do as a helping professional to help advocate for this population. So unlimited resources. You can do absolutely anything. You can, speeches to lawmakers, town hall events in the community, resources, anything. You can literally do anything. I want you to get creative. So those are some things that I really want you to remember. So please, please, please look in the papers and projects folder for some further guidance. And email me if you need anything or need clarification, okay? So that is, that's pretty much it. One last thing that I do want to mention in regards to the material for today, or for this unit, especially in terms of suicide. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the semester, all of the topics that you are going to come across that are supplemental, so the TED Talks, the journal entries and stuff like that, these are things that you will encounter in each of these counseling professions. So, for example, the topic of suicide. Students come to school counselors and college counselors with concerns of wanting to kill themselves. This is definitely something that happens in the profession, and it happens pretty frequently. So just to put that on your radar, and just to kind of make a connection of why you're actually viewing this type of material this week and how it connects to the counseling profession. So like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. Due date for Unit 6 is May 7th, and you are almost at the end of the semester. So I don't do a video for the conclusion unit. So please, 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 if you need information, reach out to me. Please know it's been a pleasure teaching all of you this semester. The improvement in at least like the unit assignments alone from, having very, very short answered unit assignments to what I'm seeing now, it has been fantastic to see. So I'm really glad that everyone has really been taking the time to look at the material and process and really show that through their assignments and making those improvements. So really, really nice job. And I hope everyone has a safe and fun summer. So again, for the 5th time, if you need anything, please let me know. And I will be making some posts soon. All right. Bye, everyone.